I love how he's exactly where he wants to be. Bro's if you ever see a man tied up like a dog, just know he's exactly where he wants to be. That opening certainly has, the plot. Ramparts be Rampart in this episode. After sucking on a lollipop, she's talking about devouring you. This could mean one of two things. Let's hope it's the good thing. He's like me for real. His mind, it goes exactly where my mind would go. Uh-huh. Yeah, a choice. Raw dogging already. You know what? Anime of the season might actually be here. Absolute cinema has arrived. I love how bro literally went from supposed to being murdered to dating. See, if you shock their systems with extreme measures, the basic ones like dating are gonna be like, sure, why not? I don't even know her name. She just wanted to suck my soul out and I said marry me. Oh my god, he's so happy. He's so happy. This is such a funny show. Kanan. The fact that his VA is like seductively whispering in the mic is just brilliant. He's looking for you like a lost puppy. She dragged him the whole time? Cinema. Those are some of the highlights. You want to get the full live reaction, head on over to the Patreon, but holy hell, Mistress Kanan is devilishly easy. I thought it would be fun, and I did watch some of the trailer, and I thought, hey, this looks like a cute little demon girl trying to eat people, but then folds for the boy, and they end up in a relationship. But, like, unironically, the plot of this first episode is, girl is like, I'm gonna eat you raw. I'm gonna suck off the meat from your bones. And my boy's immediate reaction was, thank you. I would like nothing more. Let me just take this off. She's fucking wonderful. I'm so used to these romances where one of the characters is objectively stronger than the other. Not here. Kanan as an MC is a very, like, dominating force, but is actually pretty submissive. She's very much a switch, right? Depending on the scene, she could act as sub or dom. And in doing so, it allows for a dynamic with a male lead who isn't your typical wimpy loser who has no confidence. I mean, bro didn't think he was gonna get the Holy Grail today, but as soon as the Holy Grail presented itself, he took the opportunity to latch onto it and say, fucking bet. And the humor comes from the fact that she has a wild imagination, and I can't even necessarily blame her, nor can I blame him for having misunderstandings. But the big thing that's actually surprising about the humor is that despite the sexual nature of the show, they actually do value consent. So when bro thinks she's talking about sucking his soul dry, bet, I'm here. But as soon as he realizes she's not into it, he backs off. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Well, let's just fucking go out then. Let's just be boyfriend and girlfriend. We can do it on your terms. But she often will think things are much more intense, like, hey, where do you want to do it first? Oh, the park. And then she's like, we're going to get fucking arrested. There's going to be public indecency. There's all these things. But he'll just be dead ass talking about where do you want to go on the first date. The man is bold, but they're constantly like, it's not that they're on completely different wavelengths. They're just one or two notches off from what the other is actually saying, and it makes for a really entertaining dynamic. Like the fact that a girl who was just so confident in her mowing down the human race was able to fold this easily from some random ass high school boy who, like, she met her match. Bro thinks she's just some cosplaying goddess who has decided to bless him with every virgin's wet dream. And she's like, maybe he's the devil after all. The dynamic between these two is actually fantastic. And as someone who doesn't watch a lot of romance anime, like, I've seen a lot of romance anime, but to me, the same way some people look at isekai like, oh my god, how can you watch so many isekai? That's how I feel about romance anime. I feel like they're often just insert generic school setting. Sometimes they're different. I think there has been some really good ones. I think such as The Dangers in My Heart as an example. Fantastic. But in general, they just don't really appeal to me. Stuff like this is different. It has a very unique style right from the get-go, and it's comedy-based. Yeah, there's clearly going to be actual romantic progression between these two. I mean, by the end of the episode, they actually do share a kind of romantic scene that isn't a misunderstanding of sexual taboo nature. And it's just simply sharing food, sharing a nice dinner together, or an after-school snack, I guess we should say. And I think it's just so sweet because they kind of showed a little bit of everything. They teased the demon stuff. to tease the demon realm. It's kind of interesting too, because at the very beginning of the episode, Beelzebub is casually like, "Hey, do you wanna have some food with me, daughter?" And she's like, "No, I don't want to do that." And he kind of hints about like someday you're gonna understand eating food together is important. At least that's kind of the interpretation. And then by the end of the episode, she does exactly what Daddy was, trying to do to her, like saying, "Hey, you should share food. It makes it taste better." Most likely is what I'm getting out of it. Anyway, it's kind of like a nice parallel. I think if you like perverted humor, you're going to have a riot. If you like fan service, you're going to have a good time. I mean, the opening has God knows how many scenes of her in very interesting outfits, and somehow I fully believe this man is going to get her to wear every single one of them. I honestly think this is going to be one of those shows where he realizes she's a demon a lot faster than a lot of these shows would. I didn't really have a strong opinion, but I think my gut reaction was the gag would go on forever, that he would never know that she's a demon, right? I'm not going to be surprised if in the first handful of episodes he learns the truth. And if anything, it's going to make his infatuation for her, because if Buddy's getting that, sitting under the desk, nearly breaking it from his arousal, from her cosplaying, what do you think he'll do when he realizes she's the real deal? It's gonna be intense. I mean, it has the very overly anime, moe, insane energy that makes it fun, and they chose the perfect VA for it. But like I said at the start, I don't really find myself liking one over the other. I'm sure most will probably latch on to her because, she will sell the figures. But the fact that he is equally enjoyable, you don't get to say that too often. Even if, even some of my favorite romance animes, I very much significantly like one of the lead characters more than the other. But so far with episode 1, I like them equal. This should be a very fun watch, and it's not your average run-of-the-mill school series, nor do I think it's just here to be fan service slop of the season. I kind of thought that's what it was going to be pretty quick into the episode once they started talking about raw dogging, and I was like, you know what, this show's made for me, but I could understand if it's a little much for some people. But I think they struck a nice balance of being a legitimate school romance, but also being a perverted fantasy. Harmony, it's fucking wonderful. Either way, I'm liking the show. I think it's fun. It airs on Saturdays. I'm still trying to finalize how I'm doing certain shows. I'm trying to determine what has more demand on what day, but I would like to do this one on the weekends either way. I think this is a very fun one. Maybe it's one we come back to every so often. Either way, you can let me know what you thought. I mean, I walked in with expectations it was going to be a very funny show, and I guess I got that. Bro got dragged around on a leash and said, "Thank you for this meal." If I had a nickel for every time someone got dragged on a leash this weekend, I'd basically have 2 nickels, but goddamn. But you can let me know your thoughts. Want more videos? Gonna keep watching this one. Just let me know down below. Drop a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell, and of course Patreon's where you're gonna catch full live reactions either way to all these episodes and more. And I gotta give those video shoutouts as well to my patrons, because without them, you won't get these YouTube videos at all. Alright, so today we've got Old Man, David, Luke Brownfield, Devin Diego, Ashley Hawkham, Corbo, Casper Joel Jensen, George Para, Car Goofy, Kevin Wallace, and Antonio. So I appreciate the support. Please take care and y'all have a good one.